Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Dantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakaditamscha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavan Ebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're going to speak this morning on some of the early pastimes of Lord Nityananda as described in Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Bengali literature, if you ever study Bengali literature, the books which they study are books like the Chaitanya Bhagavat and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are considered the classic literatures in Bengali language. And Srila Prabhupada describes how he hopes that people will come and they'll want to learn Bengali just so that they can relish more these wonderful books like Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the Chaitanya Bhagavat is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is known as the son of Narayani. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, we said, he describes himself as the last disciple of Lord Nityananda. And it's interesting to note that we described him as being the son of Narayani. Now usually when we describe a person, we will describe the person in relation to the father. But in Vrindavan Das Thakur's case, we give special emphasis on his mother, because his mother, Narayani, is famous in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya for having received the prasadam from Lord Chaitanya. As a very small child, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very merciful to this little girl and allowed her to take some prasadam from him. So Vrindavan Das Thakur begins to tell us about Lord Nityananda and his pastimes, first of all, in the place of his appearance, which is Ekachakra. Ekachakra is in the land known as Radhadesh, which means the place where the Ganges does not flow. Most of us, you will know, when we go to Ekachakra, especially if you go at this time of the year, you can see it's very dry everywhere, because there's no Ganga flowing there, so they have to wait for the rainy season to come before they can do the harvesting, before they can cultivate the fields. So it was in this place, Ekachakra, that Lord Nityananda appeared as the son of Harai Oja and Padmavati. They were a pious Brahmin couple, and Lord Nityananda appeared as their oldest son. So Lord Nityananda, growing up in Ekachakra, had many wonderful pastimes with all of the other young children there in Ekachakra. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it describes how Lord Nityananda every day, in fact all day and all night, he would spend his time with all the other young boys in the village, and they would reenact all of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Lord Nityananda would orchestrate all the other children how to perform and how to play the parts of the different personalities in the different leelas. One boy would be Vasudeva and another boy would be Devaki, and they would be in the prison house of Kamsa, and they would enact giving birth to children, and Kamsa coming and killing the first 6 children of Devaki. Then they reenacted the birth of Krishna, how Krishna appears, and how Nanda Maharaj, how Vasudeva carries child Krishna over to the home of Nanda Maharaj. And in the home of Nanda Maharaj, of course, different demons came to try to kill Krishna. One young child would play the part of Putana, and he would come as if to nurse the baby Krishna. and child Krishna would grab the breast of Putana, and then Putana would reveal her huge form as a Rakshasi. And seeing the children every day absorbed in all of these different pastimes, the inhabitants of the village in Ekachakra were amazed. They would ask the children, "Who's told you all of these pastimes? We never told you all of these things." And Lord Nityananda would reply, "These are my pastimes." Because Lord Nityananda, we know of course, is not different from Lord Balaram. The Lord comes in different ages to perform his different pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees. And the Lord also takes pleasure in reenacting the pastimes of his previous incarnations. So they would perform all the different leelas of Lord Krishna, and then they would perform the leelas of different incarnations of Vishnu. They would perform the pastime of Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev coming to Bali Maharaj to beg land. And one of the young boys would be Sukracharya, and he would say, "No, don't give him the land. He's Vishnu, he'll take everything." And then of course Lord Vamanadev would negotiate with Bali Maharaj to get the 3 steps of land and reveal his form to take away all of the kingdom of Bali Maharaj and send Vamanadev down to Sutapaloka, and the Lord went with him to be his doorkeeper. Then they would perform the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, and in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Nityananda would take the mode of Lakshman. And in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, of course, there's the Battle of Lanka and different battles between Lakshman and Indrajit. Lord Nityananda was very deeply absorbed in the mood of Lakshman, and he told all of the boys that, "Remember, I am Lakshman, and if anything happens to me, you have to continue to perform the drama." So they were performing the battle of Lanka, and at one point the boy who was playing Ravan came with a lotus flower and threw the lotus flower right into the chest of Lord Nityananda. The boy who was playing Ravana said, "This is my Shakti Sara, I'm throwing my ultimate weapon on you." And so Lord Nityananda was in the mood of Lakshman, and when that lotus flower hit him in the chest, then Lord Nityananda fell down unconscious. So when Lord Nityananda fell down like this, then all of the people rushed to see what is wrong, is he all right? And they could not detect even any consciousness in the body of Lord Nityananda. So everyone was amazed. How is it possible, just from a lotus flower, that he could be unconscious, maybe he's even dead, we don't know. All of the adults came, and the parents of Lord Nityananda, Harai Pandit and Padmavati, they also came, and they were, "Oh no, what is wrong? What has happened to our son?" Padmavati and Hari Pandit, they were unconscious just to see their son in this condition. But then one of the boys began to remember what Lord Nityananda told us. He said, "We have to enact the drama." And another boy said, "Yes, we have to. Where's Hanuman? Hanuman has to go and get the medicine to revive Lakshman." So the boy who was playing Hanuman, he was told, "You have to fly, go to Gangamadana mountain, bring the medicine, bring the herbs to revive Lakshman." So the boy who was playing Hanuman, he ran off. But on his way to Gangamadana mountain, Ravana had some men there to try to distract Hanuman. And some boys, they were playing the agents of Ravan, and they told Hanuman, "Oh, just come here, we have just prepared food, you're welcome, come and eat with us." They said, "Yes, just come, and food is ready now, take your bath, the lake is there, go take your bath and food is ready, we will serve you quickly." Now, they were actually agents of Ravan, and they were planning to capture Hanuman, to have Hanuman devoured. So actually, when they told Hanuman, take your bath in that lake, there was a very big crocodile, and they thought for sure this crocodile will finish Hanuman. So Hanuman went into the lake as if to take his bath, and then the crocodile came and attacked him. But Hanuman defeated that crocodile and killed it. Like this, the boys were enacting all of these different pastimes. And then Hanuman flew off after killing these people. He flew off the Gangamadana mountain, and he could not immediately, he did not know, because monkeys are not very intelligent. So Hanuman thought what to do. Maybe I would just bring the mountain. So then Hanuman picked up that mountain and came back with it to where all the other boys were waiting, and where Lord Nityananda was lying unconscious in the mood of Lakshman. And of course, when the boy came with the mountain, then the other boys, they found the herbs, and they mixed the herbs and brought them in front of the nose of Lakshman, and immediately Lord Nityananda opened his eyes and came back to consciousness. That was the life of Lord Nityananda for the first 12 years of his life. He did not know anything else but the pastimes of the Lord. And he would enact all of these different pastimes with all of the children in the village of Ekachakra. And everybody in the village of Ekachakra, they actually fell in love with Nityananda. Even more than they loved their own son, they loved Lord Nityananda. And while Lord Nityananda was there in Ekachakra, Ekachakra was the most opulent place on the planet. Wherever the Lord appears, that place is blessed, and it cannot be poverty. It cannot know any poverty. So everyone in the village of Ekachakra were deeply attached to Lord Nityananda, and every day they wanted to be with him and to see him. They wanted to watch his activities. They wanted to glorify him. And so in this way, Lord Nityananda passed, we said, the first 12 years of his life. But Lord Nityananda, remember, he is non-different from Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda remembered in his previous incarnation as Balaram, he had gone to visit many holy places. Srimad Bhagavatam describes how Lord Balaram went to visit. Lord Balaram, of course, did not take part in the battle of Kurukshetra. Instead, to avoid taking part in any of the battle, he went to visit holy places. And then, after visiting holy places, you would think, I want to go and see these places again. So, Lord Nityananda, in the mood of Balaram, he wanted also to go and revisit these holy places. But how to get free when the mother and father and everybody in the village is so attached? How will we ever get free? So it was arranged that one sannyasi came to visit Ekachakra Dham. And Harai Pandit, being a pious Brahmin, invited that sannyasi to take the meals in his house. Harai Pandit served the Brahmin, served the sannyasi very faithfully, and he told the sannyasi that, and whatever you want, please tell me, it will be my pleasure to provide for you. And so the sannyasi said, yes, before I go, I will tell you what you can do for me. So the sannyasi stayed there for 3 days, usually not more than 3 days. There are some ashrams like that, even today. They will allow you to stay 3 days. Because sannyasi doesn't want to get too comfortable in any one place. So the sannyasi came, and he was well taken care of in the home of Harai Pandit. In 3 days, then it becomes a burden on people. We saw Srila Prabhupada also do this, actually. When Srila Prabhupada came to Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, Prabhupada also lived like this. Yeah, we did not have a very well-established temple, so Prabhupada was accommodated in the residence of different life members. But only 3 days in one house, then he would move to another person's house. Prabhupada was demonstrating to us the life of the sannyasi. The sannyasi had come to the home of Harai Pandit, and he'd been given food and meals. And then after 3 days, it was time for him to go. But before he left, he had requests to make to Harai Pandit. So he told Harai Pandit, he said, I'm going to visit holy places. I'm going to travel many, many miles all over India. And I need an assistant to come with me. So he said, you have a nice son? He said, can you give your son to me? It will be very nice if you give your son to me, and I will take him with me to visit all the holy places. So, of course, hearing these words, Harai Pandit almost fell unconscious. Because he had told the Brahmin, whatever you want, you can ask from me. I will be glad to provide for you anything. So he had given his word to this sannyasi that he could take whatever he wanted. He never expected that he would ask to take Nitai away from him. So Harai Pandit said, I don't know. I will have to ask my wife. Let me check. Let me see what Padmavati has to say about this. So Harai Pandit conversed with his wife, and his wife said, whatever you decide, I will agree to. So Harai Pandit considered that I have already given my word to him. He's a sannyasi, and if I break my word to this sannyasi, then I'm a brahmana, and my word has become meaningless. It's very bad for me. I will be doomed if I do not keep my word. So in this way, Lord Nityananda was able to leave Ekachakra Dham at the age of 12 and go and travel with this sannyasi to visit all the holy places. And in this way, Lord Nityananda traveled with this sannyasi for 20 years. Lord Balaram and Lord Nityananda in his previous incarnation had been to visit all of these holy places, and he was very happy to go and see them all again. They went north, south, east and west. They went everywhere. They went to Badrikashram in the Himalayas, and Gangotri and Yamunotri. They went to Naimisharanya, where Lord Balaram had killed Romaharshan Sutta. And they went to Dwarka, to Vrindavan, Mathura and Ayodhya. They went to the south and they saw Rameshwaram and Sri Rangam. And while Lord Nityananda was traveling, he had the opportunity to meet with Madhavendra Puri. Now, Madhavendra Puri is a very, very important personality in the Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri comes in the line of Madhva Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri has the seed of ecstatic love of God. Before Madhavendra Puri, there was not this ecstatic love for the Lord, the mood of the love for the Lord in bhava. Madhavendra Puri was on this level of this spontaneous, ecstatic devotion, Raganuga Bhakti, and it was very, very obvious that he was a transcendental personality above all the material world. Madhavendra Puri had many disciples, important disciples. For example, Ishwara Puri, who was the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya, was initiated by Madhavendra Puri. And Advaita Acharya, he was also initiated by Madhavendra Puri. We go to Shantipur, which is the home of Advaita Acharya, on the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri. Because Advaita Acharya would organize a very big festival on that day. So we said, this Madhavendra Puri is very, very important spiritual master with many disciples, and he's a mood of ecstatic love for the Lord. And when he met with Lord Nityananda, the two of them were even more ecstatic in the company, in the association of each other. Some say Lord Nityananda is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Others say Lord Nityananda was a disciple of Lakshmipati. The their different opinions about who is actually the Guru of Lord Nityananda. But Lord Nityananda accepted Madhavendra Puri just like his spiritual master. And when the two were together, then they passed many hours every day discussing topics of Krishna. This is the benefit of going to visit holy places, that in the holy places we have the opportunity to associate with saintly persons. So Lord Nityananda enjoyed very much the association of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was also relishing the association of Lord Nityananda. And after some time, spending many days together in each other's association, they departed for their different ways. So Lord Nityananda, we said he was passing a period of 20 years traveling to all the different holy places. Now during this time, he was not distributing the holy name. He was not going door to door and requesting everyone to chant the holy name. He was not delivering the fallen souls. He was just simply going to visit the holy places and bathing in the holy rivers and the holy lakes there. He was simply absorbed in relishing the holy places. But he knew that very soon Lord Chaitanya is going to begin his pastimes. So he was waiting for Lord Chaitanya to finish his pastimes of being a scholar. He knew that very soon Lord Chaitanya is going to stop his pastime of being a professor, having his own college and teaching logic and being a great scholar, and he's going to stop all of this and he's going to just preach the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So Lord Nityananda was simply waiting for that time when Lord Chaitanya would be ready to begin to distribute the holy name. And of course this happened after Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya and he took his initiation from Ishwara Puri, and then he came back to Mayapur and he was changed. Lord Chaitanya had become, instead of a proud logician and scholar, he'd become a humble Vaishnava. And he was falling at the feet of all the Vaishnavas and begging forgiveness for his previous arrogance. It was at this time when Lord Nityananda, who had come to Mathura, he got the news how Lord Chaitanya had become transformed into a Vaishnava. Lord Chaitanya, even as a young man, as a young child, performed many wonderful activities which won the attention of other people. Remember, he had defeated Keshava Kashmiri, who was Digvijay, who was a great pundit and scholar traveling everywhere, and he came to Navadvip and he was defeated by Nimai Pandit. So news like that travels everywhere, even without the internet and without the mobile phones and so on. Still, by word of mouth, people were talking about the amazing activities of Nimai Pandit. So they were hearing about the activities of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Nityananda, who is in Mathura, he also hears about them, and he understands that very soon we're going to begin our pastimes together. So when the news came that Lord Chaitanya had begun to have kirtan, and Sankirtan was beginning, then Lord Nityananda also came here to Mayapur. And Lord Chaitanya, being the omniscient Supreme Lord, he could understand that Lord Nityananda is very soon coming, that my brother is going to come. And Lord Chaitanya told all the devotees that tomorrow a very great personality is going to come to Mayapur. And that personality is practically not different from me. So the devotees were very excited. Who is this? Who is this person who's coming? So the next day, Lord Chaitanya sent the devotees, go and find this personality. When you see him, you will immediately know he is the person. So the devotees were sent out, and they went everywhere to all the different places all over Navadvip to look, where is this personality? Went all over over to Navadvip, what is now Navadvip, at that time it's Kulia, and they looked even there, and they looked not only in the homes of the devotees, they looked even in the homes of people who were not devotees, but they couldn't find him anywhere. Then Lord Chaitanya said, I will find him for you. Without the mercy of Krishna, we cannot find the spiritual master. Lord Nityananda is Guru Tattva. He is the manifestation of the spiritual master. In order to find him, we have to have the mercy of Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, we get a spiritual master. And by the mercy of the spiritual master, we get Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya immediately went to the home of Nandana Acharya. Somehow the devotees, maybe they had gone there to Nandanacharya, but they had not been able to see Nityananda. We don't know. But Lord Chaitanya, he immediately went to Nandanacharya's home and brought Nityananda. That home of Nandanacharya, that is just very near to our own Mayapur temple. It is the first temple as we go along the road to the Ghat. The first temple is at the house of Nandana, where the house of Nandanacharya was. So of course when Lord Chaitanya is reunited with Lord Nityananda, then it is also ecstatic for both of them. They embraced each other and shed tears of transcendental bliss. Lord Chaitanya brought Lord Nityananda and introduced him to all of the devotees. So Lord Srivas Thakur and his wife Malini they exhibited Vatsalya Dras in the association of Lord Nityananda. They were just like Lord Nityananda's mother and father. And Lord Nityananda would reciprocate with their loving feeling for him, that he would become just like their child. Lord Nityananda had some controversial activities. No. Sometimes his activities cannot be understood by ordinary people. Lord Nityananda would, as a child, in the mood of a child, he would take off his clothing and he would run around the house of Srivas Thakur just like a young child. And this is what is even more amazing is that the wife of Srivas Thakur, Malini, that in her mood of parental love for Lord Nityananda, she would offer her breast milk to Lord Nityananda. Now Malini was not a young woman, she was an old lady, her breasts were already dried, but somehow, due to her intense parental love for Lord Nityananda, milk would flow in her breast and she would feed that milk to Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda was, we said, he was quite a unique personality. He was, he's not a person of this world. He is the Supreme Lord himself. And he is coming to show his pastimes with his devotees. Later on in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's an incident described how one Brahmana came to Nilachala, to Jagannath Puri, to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he was in the association of Lord Chaitanya, this Brahmana revealed to Lord Chaitanya his doubt about Lord Nityananda. He said, this Lord Nityananda is a sannyasi, but he chews pan. He chews betel and pan. Sannyasis are not supposed to do these things. And he wears fine cloth of silk, and he decorates himself with many different ornaments of gold and silver and pearls. So he said, and he's a sannyasi, he should have a wooden danda, but he has a metal rod, he carries a metal club. So he's going against many of the injunctions which are there for sannyasis. So this Brahmana was finding fault on Lord Nityananda, but Lord Chaitanya pointed out to this Brahmana that do not have any doubt in Lord Nityananda, that he has achieved full love he has love of God. You cannot understand his activities. And if anybody dares to find a fault or to criticize Lord Nityananda, then it's the greatest offense. And Lord Chaitanya went on to describe how sometimes great souls are offended, and the people who offend them suffer. So Lord Chaitanya told how in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna and Balaram were requested by Sandipani Muni to bring the son of Sandipani Muni back to life. You know, Krishna and Balaram had taken training, education in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. So Sandipani Muni asked them for Guru Dakshin. The Dakshin was that bring my son back. He died. He's gone to Yamaraj. Bring him back to me. So Krishna and Balaram went and they brought back the son of Sandipani Muni. They went to Yamaraj and they told Yamaraj, we have to take him. You cannot keep this boy here. So when Devaki heard this, Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva, when she heard how Krishna and Balaram had brought back the son of their guru from death, she asked Krishna and Balaram that I have 6 sons who were all killed by Kamsa. Please bring them back for me. So Krishna, he was obliged at the request of his mother Devaki to go and bring back these 6 sons. And we should understand who were these 6 sons. These 6 sons were originally they were the sons of Marichi, who was the son of Brahma. Now, on one occasion, Brahma had become lusty at his own daughter. And when these 6 sons of Marichi saw this, they saw Brahma being lusty, chasing after his own daughter, they laughed at him. Now that was an offense on their part, because Lord Brahma is a great soul. Even though he may do something which is not proper, nobody else has the right to ridicule him or make fun of him. Because these 6 sons all laughed at Lord Brahma, they were cursed to take birth in the family of a demon. They became the sons of Hiranyakashipu. And of course, as the sons of Hiranyakashipu, they suffered a lot from the thunderbolts of Indra. Then they took birth in the womb of Devaki. There they were also killed by Kamsa. But then Lord Krishna brought them back to his mother. Now Lord Krishna had already sucked the milk from Devaki's breast. So when these 6 sons came back, they also sucked the breast milk of Devaki. So that milk had become prasad because Lord Krishna had taken the milk. Because the 6 sons got prasad from the breast of Devaki, they were liberated and they went back to their position in the heavenly planets. Chaitanya narrated all of this to this Brahman to warn him of the danger of offending a great soul like Lord Nityananda. Even though we may not understand the activities of such great souls, we should never ever think to ridicule them. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.